there we go.
Continue. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me on this beautiful, sunny May bank holiday day. You're here. Others aren't. If those others aren't, oh, hello, Monel. Here's another joiner. Those others aren't watching the recording, then they're doing okay because they're going to get some tips, some careers advice tips for the next hour. The ones that are sunbathing at the moment and haven't got the video, well, they'll never know what I'm about to say. And what I'm about to say is they're missing out on potentially life-changing advice. But that's their problem, not yours. I'm really pleased to see you. Hello, Monel. Good to see you, mate.
Hi.
So my name is Julian Dismore. I'm a television series producer and I train in media skills. The plan for the next hour is to do a quiz, and participation in the quiz is compulsory one way or another. Then we are going to talk about the pros and cons of a media career. And then I'm going to give you guys some tips when it comes to contacts, generating emails, finessing your CVs, job interviews, and we'll do a Q&A at the end. The more questions, the better. So without further ado, I'm going to show you, hello, Edie's friend behind there. You want to join in? Do you want to watch? It's a fascinating talk. You want to hear all kinds of stuff that will amaze and indeed surprise you. Hello, young man. Is that your dad, Edie? Is that your boyfriend?
Yes.
I'm sorry I called him your dad. That's a bit of a faux pas.
It's fine. You didn't see his face. You didn't see his face. It's fine. We won't tell him.
He's a very slim. He could be a much younger man from behind. Anyway, so rather than boring you with stories of my career, I'm going to show you a video which captures my career in less than a minute. And while you're watching this video, please try and think of a question or two, because the more questions from you guys, the more fun this talk will be, and the more useful it'll be to you guys as well. So I'm going to share a screen here. Now then, where's my video gone? That's good. Oh, here it is, video. Here we go. So can you all, here's the rule. If you can see a video I'm going to show, you've got to say, hell yeah. So microphones on, please. There's no reason to have your microphones off at any point, unless you've got a pneumatic drill in the background. And then if you can hear it, you've got to say the words, hell yeah. That's the rules of the game. So the first question is, can you all see that video?
Hell yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Can you all hear that video?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Monel, you've got to play the game, mate.
Hell yeah.
Good man. Right, here we go. My career in less than a minute. Hi, my name is Julian Dismore. I'm a TV series producer and media skills trainer. I've been in telly over 30 years. I'm going to try and sum it up in less than a minute. Wish me luck. Here's some pictures from my shoots. I've been lucky enough to go all around the world, South Africa, India. There's the king cobra that bit me, very close to death. That's my blood pressure monitor. I've got high blood pressure. TV is very stressful. That's a commentary script. That's an edit suite. As did my last program, went out on Channel 5. There's my pal Lorraine Kelly. There's a bin, not relevant. There's a frog laundry basket. That helped save my life. I'll tell you the story over a pint at some point. Those are my cameras. That's my Z1, not obsolete. Cami, love it though. And that's my 305. And that's my book, TV and Insider's Guide, a must read for anyone that's working television. There's some awards. And that's my Playgirl appearance. I was young, I was hungry, and I needed the money. The end. Okay, so that's my career in less than a minute. I've been very, very lucky, and over the last 33 years and 3 months, I've been all around the world filming televisual feasts. And just to get across the variety of life experiences you can have in television, if you're lucky, we're going to play a game. I'm going to give you 5 statements about my career. 4 are true and 1 is a lie. So that's 5 statements, 4 are true and 1 is a lie. You need to work out which is the lie using intuition if you're a woman and guesswork if you're a man, because obviously that's the way the human brain works. So you've got the idea, 5 statements, 4 are true, 1's a lie. And each of these statements has a very valuable learning tip for you guys to take on board. So the first statement, I fell 30 feet off the volcano Krakatoa in the middle of the night. If you think that's a lie, write down number 1. Number 2, I filmed undercover posing as a paedophile in sex bars in the Philippines. I filmed undercover posing as a paedophile in sex bars in the Philippines. If you think that's a lie, write down number 2. If you think it's true, please don't think, well, I'm not surprised. He looks a bit like a paedophile, because that would upset me. And I'm very, very early in our relationship for me to be so upset. Number 3, I flew into a war zone to film a cricket tournament and was put under hotel arrest. Number 4, I've been bitten by a king cobra in a snake charming village in India. And number 5, there's a warrant out for my arrest in the US state of Montana. So which is the lie? Write it down in the chat bar, please. Everyone's got to play. Which is the lie? Is it falling off Krakatoa, number 1? Is it being an undercover paedophile in the Philippines, number 2? Is it the war zone, number 3? Is it being bitten by a king cobra, number 4? Or is it there's a warrant out for my arrest in the US state of Montana? So Manel, you think number 2 is the lie? Laura, you think 5 is a lie? Phoebe, question mark 5? Right then, well, let's reveal the truth. Is that everyone that's voted? 1, 2, 3, 4. Eddie has gone for 2. Right. Interestingly, votes for 2s and 5s split evenly. Well, let's go through them and all will be revealed. So number 1, I did fall 30 foot off the volcano Krakatoa in the middle of the night. It's true. And I was very lucky in that basically I bounced my backpack. If I hadn't been lucky, if I'd broken something, I'd have been stuffed, because we were 15 hours boat journey from Jakarta, the nearest hospital, and the production coordinator would put the wrong phone number for Medivac, medical evacuation by helicopter, on the call sheet. So my teammates, my crew would be trying to phone Medivac, and they wouldn't have got through because the production coordinator had put the wrong phone number on the call sheet. And that's a very valuable lesson for you guys to learn if you want to work in television or the media or in any job. Detail's important. At university, you get a bit of an essay wrong. It doesn't matter. You don't get a first, you get a 2-1. In the real world, mistakes like that, wrong phone numbers, wrong postcodes, wrong addresses, wrong facts on commentary scripts or presenters' cue cards, can cost you your job, can cost somebody their life. So you've got to get the small things right. And that's why you're asked to make teas and coffees when you first start out, and do photocopying and get lunch orders right. If you get those small things wrong, well, we think you're a bit useless, to be honest. And you just don't hang around, or we don't give you more responsibility. So get the small things right if you want to progress in any job, in my opinion. Now, a couple of you thought number 2 was a lie, that I filmed undercover posing as a paedophile in sex bars in the Philippines. Well, it's true. So Eddie and Manel, you got that wrong. It's true.
Oh my God.
I was filming in the Philippines, a documentary about sex tourists, to show how easy it was to pick up children for sex, to make it easier to prosecute them back in this country. And we did succeed in getting the law changed to make it easy to prosecute sex tourists who abuse children. It was very dangerous. The previous journalist who tried to expose sex tourists in that part of the country had his head cut off by the local mayor. The camera was a lens in the badge of this waistcoat I was wearing, and the microphone was a pen in the waistcoat. Nice tie up so I could get good dialogue. So the microphone was disguised as a pen. Unfortunately, in one of the brothels I was filming, where the owner of the brothel told me he could get anybody killed within half an hour, nobody crossed him, one of his prostitutes said, "Can I borrow your pen?" If you got hold of it, or the wires had come out, I'd been exposed, I'd have been bumped off later on that night. But luckily, I had a spare pen. So I gave her the spare pen and I survived. So another tip for you guys is always have a spare pen. And what's more, use that spare pen to make notes. If you're asked to do something complicated, write it down. You know, in a restaurant, when you give a waiter or a waitress an order, you know they're not going to get it right because they're not writing it down. So more important with a runner, a researcher, a production assistant, edit assistant. You're asking for something complicated out of them. You can see it's going in one ear and out the next, and it's not going to happen. So write stuff down on your phone, on a notepad, get it right. It's so important. Shoots are stressful. They'll make it more stressful for your line managers. Number 3, you all thought this is true, that I flew into a war zone to film a cricket tournament and was put under hotel arrest. Well, it is true. 2008, I was filming cricket videos in Mumbai. Very excited. I got to Heathrow Airport. It said Mumbai under attack. Still flew out there. Obviously, it was a £20,000 commission for my company. I got there and it was a war zone. It was all kicking off. Went to my hotel to book in, and they were surprised to see me booking in. And they said the terrorists are going from hotel to hotel in Mumbai, attacking and killing and blowing up Westerners. We might get attacked next. Go to your room. Don't come out. So I went to my room, and then I realized that after about half an hour that lying in my bed in the fetal position, sucking my thumb, was not the best way to rescue this gig. Hello, Timothy, welcome. You've missed me being a paedophile and me falling off a volcano, but you're just in time for the terrorist story. So better late than never, mate. Anyway, so I was in the hotel room and I realized I need to rescue the commission. So what I did was I got the cricket players in the hotel to come to my room, and I filmed the interviews there and then in my hotel room while the terrorists were running around Mumbai killing people. And the moral there is the show must go on, guys. Bad stuff happens. So you need to try and rescue your programs, rescue your projects. It's so important you're resilient. And so I recorded the interviews. I then firewired them into my laptop. I edited them down, and I set up the Rajasthan Royals YouTube channel, the first IPL cricket YouTube channel in existence. And I could do that because I could shoot and I could edit and I could work out how to create a YouTube channel. So again, guys, it's very important you multi-skill yourselves. You learn how to shoot, you learn how to edit. My eldest son did that just through online tutorials. So if you're not doing it through your course, then make sure you're working out somehow or other. You can film and edit on iPhones these days, but make sure you're doing it and make sure you're uploading content to YouTube. It's very important for your CV and your skill set. Number 4, I've been bitten by a king cobra in a snake charming village in India. Who thought that was true? Who thinks it's a lie? Who thought it's true? Hands up.
I think you gave it away before you did the quiz, though.
I checked you're paying attention, Addy. Well done.
Yeah.
Timothy, if you turn your camera on, it's more fun for all of us if we can see your face. It is true. I've been bitten by a king cobra. I was 6 inches from death. It bit me on the boot. If it bit me 6 inches higher up, it'd have bitten through my trouser leg. It'd have injected the venom, neurotoxic venom. I'd have been dead in 20 minutes because a king cobra injects more venom than any other biting snake.
But
So
how
I was
did
so
you,
lucky it bit me on the boot and not through my sock or my trouser leg.
how did
I
it
was 6 inches from death. My wife reliably informs me that is 6 inches.
did it
Well done, Eddie. The next tip is always laugh at your producer's jokes, no matter how rubbish they are. It's really important that you're fun to have around. You're smiling. You're a runner. It's a freezing cold day. It's pouring it down. You're miserable. You must not have a face like a broken zip. Stay cheerful. Stay upbeat. It's extremely important that you're positive and good to have around. It's part of your job description. And finally, there's a tip in the word and finally, you know one of these is a lie. There's a warrant out for my arrest in the US state of Montana. Who thinks it's a lie? Hands up. You can have another go. Who thinks it's a lie?
Yeah.
It is a lie. It is, in fact, Utah, where there's a warrant out for my arrest. I was making a documentary about cold fusion. Some scientists claim to have solved the world's energy problems. We doorstepped them. We trespassed into their laboratory to interview them. They all got a bit upsetting with the police. They all kicked off. We got a bit fruity. And obviously I'm not welcome back in Utah, but I don't particularly want to go back to Utah. It's the most boring city in the world. So you get a sense there. Salt Lake City's the most boring city, and Utah's the most boring state. You get a sense there, the variety of life experiences you can have in television. And in my 33 years of show business, I worked with loads of stars, loads of household names. But to be honest, it's the extraordinary, ordinary people which makes it such a great job. I'll get a bit of feedback from one of you. I don't know if one of you's got me on an iPhone as well, but I'll get a bit of feedback from one of you. Anyway, it's the extraordinary, ordinary people who make working in television so special, because people give you access to their lives. They tell you their stories, sometimes traumatic stories, sometimes incredible stories. But meeting people who let you into their lives and reveal their souls is a real privilege. Confucius said that meeting one wise person is better than reading 1,000 books. With the exception of TV and Insider's Guide by Julian Dismore, a must read for anyone that wants to work in the world of show business. How Confucius knew about my book, I'll never know, but he's a very bright guy, living 4,500 years ago. But you get a sense of it. You get a sense of how great television can be if you're lucky enough to work on the most interesting programs. Even on the more boring programs, though, you're working with interesting people. There's a showbiz element to it. And it's exciting because you're creating something in a team. But enough about me. Let's hear more about you guys and what your hopes and dreams are. So tell me a bit about what you would like to be when you grow up. Laura, you go first.
So I'm currently studying dance anthropology here at Roehampton in my master's. But what I'd really like to do is set up my own dance school and potentially create my own, YouTube channel or platform where I can do digital dancing. So really exploring how the camera and dance work together. That's something I'm really interested in. So yeah, something like that.
So you say you're going to set up your own YouTube channel?
Potentially, maybe.
Well, why don't you get it already?
I don't know. It's probably a confidence thing and a time sort of thing. But
okay. So here's the thing. I've got to be totally honest with you. The people you're up against, the people you're competing against, will have spent the last year of lockdown productively, proactively. They'll have done stuff. They'll have set up YouTube channels. They'll have boosted their CV. They'll have enhanced their skill set. You've got time, Laura. It's not time to do it, but you need to be doing it. You can't be saying I haven't got time. You've got to make the time. Set up that YouTube channel. If you don't do the dancing on screen, then get other people to dance on screen and you produce it. You direct it. You need to be proactive. You need to be doing stuff to compete with the rest, to get those precious opportunities. Attack the situation. Don't be reactive, be proactive. Does that make sense?
Yep.
So at Loughborough, my eldest son, he went to Loughborough to do sports science. But he spent a lot of that 3 years filming the basketball team, filming the rugby team, filming the football team, editing it down, learning how to edit, acquiring kits, setting up his YouTube channel. So when he graduated, he had lots of options, and now he's flying around the world making sports videos, earning a lot of money because he used that time at university productively. That's what you've got to do. Stuff outside your course. Eddie or Edie, your turn.
It's Edie, sorry. I should have corrected you earlier, but it's okay. I just now finished my drama and theatre degree. So I'm really into script writing and for theatre, but also I'm kind of wanting to write like screenplays and things like that. So at the moment, I don't know where exactly that would take me. I'm just like trying to write a lot, but I suppose that I need to be getting a bit more into editing and filming maybe, or I don't know. It's like, I enjoy directing. I enjoy working as part of a team. I enjoy creating characters and narratives and things. That's like what I'm into. So where we'll go.
So who are your inspirations? Who are your heroes?
Probably Robert Popper. You heard of him?
Is he still alive? Who's Popper?
Yeah, he's been involved in like Peep Show and The In-Between. Like it's all very like kind of sitcom but anti-sitcom kind of stuff.
Yes. Have you contacted him?
I've not contacted him, no.
Why not? Why not?
I don't know. I think it's the same. Like, I feel like it's definitely to do with confidence, especially with writing. Like,
Okay.
because obviously sometimes when you write, yeah, it's just scary, isn't it? I don't know.
Okay. So here you are right here, right now. Here you are right here, right now. This is my advice to you. And that is not just Mr. Popper, but any inspirations, anyone you know, contact the agent, track them down on LinkedIn, write to them and say, please, can I have a 10-minute Zoom call to ask your advice? Please, can I just pick your brains for 10 minutes just to see what you think I should do next? I'm a fan of your work. I would really welcome the opportunity to just get your advice on what I can be doing right now to start off on a journey which might lead me to doing something nearly as good as what you do. Now, the odds are you'll get nowhere. The odds are they won't reply. But just imagine if they do.
Yeah.
So you send 10, you might get 1 or 2 replies. You send 50, you're going to get half a dozen replies. Particularly at the moment when there's not much else you can be doing. So again, it's being proactive. It's making your own luck. It's being resourceful. And no one's confident at your age. No one's confident at your age. Maybe a few public school boys are, but most people aren't. But anyone can be determined, can't they? Anybody can be determined. Anyone can put efforts in.
Mm-hmm.
So I find if you're saying you're lacking confidence, that's fine. But to say you haven't got time, that's not acceptable because everyone's got time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's how much you want it.
Yeah.
It's how much you want it. And you know, it's whether in 10 years' time you guys want to be running your own dance company, you want to be writing screenplays, or to be working in retail. And the decisions you make right now will influence that destiny. So you've got to put the effort in and make your own luck. Manel, what's your plan?
My plan is to I haven't really got one because I still don't really know what job I really want. But I want to like work for like the BBC or ITV or Channel 4, like starting as like a runner and making my way up to maybe like an assistant producer or something. But I also like to do acting as well. So yeah.
Okay. So again, I think there's a lot of reality checks going on here. You will start as a runner. And it's very important you get your head around that. It's also really important that you realize you're up against people who know exactly what they want to do. They're focused, they're determined. Like my son, they've learned how to shoot, they've learned how to edit, they've organized work experience. That's you're up against. So if you really want it, and it is the best job in the world, you've got to be focused. And your first answer can't be, well, I'm not quite sure if I want to be a runner or not. It's, I want to be a runner. And you won't work for the BBC or Channel 4 or ITV first up. That's highly unlikely. You'll be looking at much smaller productions, smaller situations, and just trying to inch your way in. But I'll talk more about that in a minute, about how hard it is to get in. Phoebe, your turn.
Hello. Well, I've been like dabbling in a few things because I'm not entirely sure where I want to go, but currently me and my friend are planning on like developing, making a web show, a web series. So we've already established quite well the characters and a few things. I have like tried to reach out to certain people, but I've not got any responses. So I should probably try and reach out to more. We were also planning a TV series. We did quite a bit into that last year, but then that had to like disband a bit because some people who were involved in it could no longer be in the project. So that's why we went with the web series instead. We decided, right, we'll drop the TV show for now. Don't like lose all the documents and all the research and everything that we put towards it, but instead focus on a web series instead. And so we're planning through that, and we're trying to find other people now who can contribute to it and help us with it. So that's
Great.
sort of where I'm going.
Exactly. I mean, you're not in a million years going to get a TV series away.
No.
At this stage. But a YouTube channel or a YouTube series or TikTok or Insta, that is very realistic, and you do need to be doing it. You do need to be doing it. Working as a team to make these things happen. making contacts, and also stuff you can put on your CV. You've done this. You can mention in job interviews. You've done this. You all need to be having stuff now that you can mention in interviews and on your CV. So anyway, let's crack on. Let's just talk about the reality check. I've talked to you about what it's been like for me, lucky enough, working all over the world over the last 30 odd years. But there's downsides to television as well, which is important you guys realize. First, it's very, very hard to get in. Very hard to get into television. It was hard for me 33 years ago, and when 85 Oxbridge graduates went for the one job I got. One of my marketing team has just got a job as a researcher for ITV at Monel. 1,200 people went for that job. 1,200, 30 got shortlisted, and then it was interviews, it was role plays of group exercises, it was presentations. That's the world you're in for one job. So you've got to be on it like a carbonnet, singing a sonnet near Thanet. If you're not really organized, you're not sharp, you haven't got a great CV, then you're going to be struggling. There's no job security in the media. So you're on short-term contracts all the time, short-term contracts, working week to week, month to month. So you've got to be on your mettle and really sharp to get under the contract. There's no in-house training. I do workshops in media skills and running skills and how to get in and CV finessing, because I was getting people on my teams who weren't trained up. I was lucky. I was trained how to shoot, trained how to direct, trained how to edit, because I worked for Yorkshire Television as a staff producer. These days, it doesn't happen. People don't train you up because it's short-term contracts and they're not going to invest in you and you're going to go and work somewhere else. So you have to train yourself a lot, like my son did. So Phoebe, Manel, Edie, and Laura, get online. These YouTube tutorials are really handy to learn these skills you need. It's long hours if you're a clock watcher, if you need to be finished by 5 o'clock to watch the chase, if you need a full hour's lunch break. And I'm not sure the media industries are for you because it's long hours. You tend to forget about the hours because you're so focused on doing a great job. And it's a stressful job. I mean, look at me, I'm 32 years old. I must look a little bit older than that because I've had a very stressful 30 odd years, because as a series producer, which is my job, you're reliant on other people all the time. You're reliant on the presenter not to get too annoyed you're asking for take 12 of their piece to camera. You're reliant on the contributors not to be too nervous because they're well outside their comfort zone, talking about emotional things. The crew not to be too annoyed that they've missed another lunch break because you're behind schedule. The weather not to rain. The kit not to fail, even though it's minus 40 or plus 40. All these things are working against you, and it's very stressful. But despite all that, if you produce a program overcoming all those barriers that's watched by hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people, and you've had an incredible, interesting journey en route to making that program, then there's no other job like it in the world. It is the best job. So I wouldn't swap my last 30 odd years for anything. So let's talk about how I can help you guys get jobs. Now, a lot of what you're about to see over the next 15 minutes or so applies to any job. These are universal truths. Obviously, they're slightly biased towards the creative industries, but whatever I say to you in these videos that are coming up will apply to pretty much any career. So do your best to absorb them. Right, I'm going to show you a video now about generating contacts. And this, to an extent, touches on what I was talking to you about, Edie, in terms of contacting people who might be able to help you. So let's remember their lines. Can you all see that share screen?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Excellent.
Earlier.
Good man. Next question. Can you all hear that?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Here we go. Some tips on generating contacts.
In TV, it's definitely who you know as well as what you know. It's all about contacts. But what if you don't know anyone? Well, I bet you do. If you're a student, some of your contemporaries will end up working in television. They're potentially valuable contacts. Keep them sweet. Equally, your tutors. My middle son got his job in the creative industries through one of his tutors. Keep your tutors sweet too. Also, pretty convinced this World Wide Web or internet is here to stay, so use it. Sites like LinkedIn are invaluable. Send contact requests to production managers, heads of talent, TV producers, etc. Some might even accept you. Watch the credits and the types of shows you want to work on. Keep an eye out for production managers, etc. And then guess their email address. And the BBC, it's first name dot second name at bbc.co.uk. The last credit on each show is the production company that makes that show. Go to their website and track down people. Join Facebook groups like People in TV Runners, websites like Talent Manager, The Call Time Company, and TV Water Cooler, and try to generate contacts by contacting people. And be organised with your contacts. Have a table with their name, their email address, their phone number, and the status of that contact. Have you emailed them? Have you called them? Have they got back to you? And most importantly, follow me on social media for job openings and media tips at Direct Productions UK. At Direct Productions UK. It could change your life.
Okay, so let's unpack that a bit. It's so important that you're working really, really hard to generate contacts right now. The last year or so has been an ideal opportunity. Again, back to my eldest son, who's earning a lot of money, having a great life, flying all around the world because of the work he's put in to making that luck happen. And he spent lockdown this time last year, one, shouting at me because he didn't want to be at home at the age of 26, but two, generating contacts on LinkedIn. And then as soon as the first lockdown finished, he got a job straight away, a gig straight away, because he'd been bashing the phones, introducing himself to people, getting in touch with people. And that's what you need to be doing. So LinkedIn, for example, first of all, don't call yourself a student on LinkedIn. For God's sake, don't call yourself first class media studies student like that. Your degree, your class, first, second, whatever, does not matter at all in terms of television. And don't label yourself a student. What's the point of LinkedIn? It's to try and get you work X as a runner, try and get you jobs as an edit assistant or production coordinator. So call yourself runner, call yourself production coordinator. Don't call yourself student. Who's going to hire a student? You're still at uni as far as they're concerned. So it's so important you think about your appearance, how you're coming across on these social medias. And secondly, for example, on LinkedIn, if you pay 50 quid a month, you get executive rights. You send loads of LinkedIn requests. Now, don't pay £50 a month, but you can get the £50 a month version for free for 1 month. So join the £50 for a month, rinse it, and then cancel it before you're paying 50 quid. But rinse it for contacts for a month. Send loads of requests, guys, to people you think might want to give you advice. But when I say to give you advice, obviously you chat to them, you charm them, and then you never know, they might just know someone that's looking for someone, or somebody else who's willing to give you advice or a bit of work experience. You've got to put the effort in. You've got to be proactive to make your own luck. Any questions about the world of contacts or any feedback or thoughts?
Sorry, do you find them on LinkedIn?
Yeah.
Like, do you just go around making contacts on LinkedIn and like contacting people randomly?
Yeah. For example, but also like you should do, yeah. So you search production managers, producers, screenwriters on LinkedIn. There's a search bar. You search the people that are relevant to you. And then you send loads of requests and most people don't accept you, but a few do. And then the ones that do might prove to be helpful. They might not, but at least you've tried. The other thing is, Manel, watch that video again. There are other tips in that video. If you go to Direct Productions TV on YouTube, Direct Productions TV, all these videos are on Direct Productions TV on YouTube. You'll see there are other tips in there about the credits. Watch the credits of programs and work out people's email addresses through the credits. So, Edie, you've got to watch the credits of the dramas you admire, Jed Mercurio, whatever it is, and just take a chance on it. Take a chance on contacting them. There's many ways to contact people. Google them, check out their website, through their agent, through LinkedIn. There's many ways. You should be like a detective. And the odds are it'll come to nothing, but it might come to something. And then in 10 years' time, you might say, that's how I got my break.
Can I ask a question?
But if you, yeah.
Sorry, just about like So when you're going into this situation to try and find contacts, is it really important to know very strongly or be able to give off that you are this whatever role? Like, do you know what I mean? So you're coming in, if, for example, me coming in with like not really any experience professionally in the role that I want to go into, do I just bluff it and be like, I'm a writer, I blah, blah, blah. Do you know what I mean? Like, how do you approach that without...
That's a really good question. Now, it's a thin dividing line. It's a thin dividing line. The first thing is you have to regard yourself as a writer. You've got to regard yourself as a writer. Have you written anything that's been performed anywhere in the world ever?
Yes.
Well, there you are. So you're a writer.
Yeah.
Have you written anything that's been on YouTube or anything that's online, on social media?
Yes.
There you are. So you're a writer. So you are a writer. That's the fact of the matter. You're a rookie. You're a beginner. But you are a writer wanting to, to learn how to progress, wanting their advice. So yes, you are a writer. Be honest, but you are a writer.
Okay.
The main thing is passion. People will forgive mistakes. They'll forgive a lot of things if you're passionate about your craft and what you want to be. So Laura, if you're passionate about dance, then that's going to go a long way. But if you've got nothing that shows that passion, no YouTube channel, no Instas, no TikToks, no evidence beyond your degree that you are genuinely interested in dance, then all you're saying is, I'm a passionate and enthusiastic individual on your CV, which means nothing. It means...
Yeah, I have a like dance specific Instagram account, which I regularly post to. But yeah, I'd like to do something like a YouTube channel to have that extra boost.
There you go. So it's just being hungry, being passionate, and being proactive. Right, another video. The next thing I'm going to show you guys is a video about introductory emails. You're generating these contacts, hopefully now, but what do you write to them? Here's some advice on what to write to your contacts. Can you all see that okay?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
More enthusiasm, or I'm not going to show it to you. Can you all see that okay?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Right, I'll assume you can hear it. Here we go.
When I started out in television in the late 1980s, it was so long ago, everything was in black and white. I used to write job applications using quill, ink and ancient parchment. But these days it's much easier because this newfangled invention, emails. But what do you write in your introductory email to television folks? Well, here's some tips. Keep it succinct. The odds are the person reading your email is really busy and really stressed. So focus on the essentials, what you want, job opportunities or work X, and why they should give it to you, your skills and your experience. Avoid cliches like keen enthusiastic. Avoid words like I love, as in I love your programs. That's what 16-year-olds write to Gary Barlow. And avoid pretentious twaddle like I want to work in television to bring down the patriarchal hegemony in modern society through the fourth estate. Keep it factual, keep it straight, keep it professional. Have a professional email address at the end with your name, your mobile phone number, your role, runner, edit assistant, production coordinator, and your email address, not academic email address. You want to give the impression you're professional and you're ready to work. There you are, your introductory email. Bosh!
So there you have it. One of the main things about that video I'd like you to take away is the importance of realizing that when you're in the jobs market, you need to change your brains, your mindset, your outlook. Because up until now, throughout your life, people have helped you. Your parents or guardian has helped you because they love you. Your teachers have helped you because they're paid to help you. Your lecturers have helped you because they're paid to lecture you. Your careers officers have helped you because they're paid to advise you on your careers. But people like me or potential employers or line managers, we're not paid to help you. We're paid to do our jobs. We're paid to make television programs or radio shows or get newspapers out. So it's so important, and this is a big mind shift because I see this mistake many, many times. So important that your email, your CV, your job interview, every contact with folks like me, employers, potential employers, focuses on what you can do for us, not what we can do for you. Get so many emails along the lines of, I'd like to work for your company because I've just graduated and it'd be great for me at this stage of my career to have some work in the factual area. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm not here to help you. I will help you if I like you and you do a great job for me for a few months, but it can't be the beginning of our relationship, the get-go. It has to be what you can do for me. And so it's critically important you tune into that mindset or you're going to end up disappointed. Any questions about that?
So basically saying like what you can offer to the employer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And you need evidence of that. Evidence. So saying I'm keen enthusiastic means nothing. Saying I'm a passionate individual means nothing. Anybody can have opinions about themselves.
Okay.
It's just pointless saying those things. What you need to say is, I'm passionate about music, as proved by the fact that I've got this TikTok channel that's got so many viewers, that I spent most of lockdown creating an Insta channel and growing it from 10 followers to 10,000 followers. You know what I mean? You just need evidence to back up stuff in your introductory emails. Evidence, hard facts, proof that your opinions about yourself are valid. And it's all trying to justify people like me bringing you in to do a job and you to be focused on what that job is. That job is being a runner or an edit assistant or a production coordinator. It isn't directing the show. It isn't editing the show. So a long email about what a great director you are is a waste of time because I don't want you to direct. At age 21, 22, you need to work your way up to that for many, many years. So it's just tuning into that mindset. Anyway, let's crack on. Let's talk about CVs. So talk about generating contacts. We'll talk about what you write to those contacts. If what you write to those contacts is any good, then they will open your CV, which is attached to the email. So that's what you're trying to get them to do, open your CV, because most times they won't. So here's some CV tips. Can you all see that screen okay?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, here we go. CV tips.
My name is Julian Dismore. I'm a TV series producer and media skills trainer. I get CVs on my desk all the time. And here's my top tips for you and out of a cracking TV CV. This is how you format it. Your name at the top. Your role, runner, edit assistant. Your mobile phone number with a break in the middle makes it easier to read. Your email address, not academic, your personal email address. Then format your CV as follows. The most important stuff at the top, TV jobs you've done, TV skills you've got, work experience positions you've had, going down, and then real world jobs you've had. Your education right at the bottom, lose your GCSEs, lose your A-levels, they're irrelevant. Try to get TV referees, people like me, want to call other TV professionals to find out if you're any good or not. And most importantly, spell check it. Make sure there's no spelling mistakes on your CV, because TV is about detail. It's very important to get the small things right, otherwise if it's spelt wrong, it goes in the round filing cabinet. Good luck.
Okay, so again, I'm aware there's lots of videos, lots to take in, lots to think about. So all these videos are on Direct Productions TV YouTube channel.
Yeah.
And it goes to the playlist, which is called Some Lines of Tips, Advice, Media Advice. That will give you a clue. Now then, what's the link in that video between me saying spell check your CV and me falling off a volcano Krakatoa? What do you think is the link in the great big world between those two things?
If you make a mistake on like both, then you're obviously going to be kind of screwed. You could get what I mean, because it's like the end of your life that you're about to drop off of that volcano. And if you make a mistake in your CV, it's kind of the end of your career.
Yeah, that's not the answer. That's a good answer, Manel, but that's not what I'm looking for. Because again, what you're doing there is you're thinking of your point of view. Your point of view, your career being derailed by bad spelling. But my advice to you, Manal, is stop looking at things from your point of view. Look at things from the point of view of the person who's got power. Who's got the power? The guy who's got the job to give. Look from their point of view. You're writing an email. You're doing a CV, a job application. Don't think about your point of view. Your point of view is irrelevant. You haven't got the power. The power's in the hands of the person who's got the job to give. So look at my point of view. From my point of view, what is the relation between bad spelling on a CV and me falling off Krakatoa?
Attention to detail. Like when you're sending your CV, you should be looking at all the small details, which is similar to making sure the phone number is right for the Medi people, so that if you did fall off, you can ring the right person. So maybe the person who screwed up the phone number screwed up the spelling on their CV as well.
I'm sure they would have done. So I see a bad spelling on a CV and I just think, well, you're a bit thick. You've not had the common sense to spell check your CV, or get somebody who can spell to check your CV, or the attention to detail to carefully go through your CV. And you know, I'm being completely blunt. I've got dozens of CVs to go through. The ones that are spelt badly go straight in the bin. Of course they do, because everyone else is spelt right, and I've got a chance of having assurance that they're going to get the phone numbers right on the call sheets and the facts right on the commentary scripts, yada, 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 yada. So spelling is really important, and punctuation, because it's an easy reason to reject a CV. Let's face it, it's an easy reason to bin something because it's badly spelled, and it's important that things are spelled right. Okay, let's quickly show you. If you email me after this at juliandismore@gmail.com, I will send you a media CV template, how you should be laying out your media CVs. That's juliandismore@gmail.com. Julian Dismore, as in Dismore to me, meets DI, @gmail.com. Still getting smiles out of Edie. I'm pleased about that. Right, I'm going to quickly show you a job interview technique video. Here we go. Can you all see that okay?
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay, here's some tips on job interview technique.
I'm a TV series producer and I've done loads of interviews. So I'll give you some advice on job interview techers. A job interview can change your life. It can kickstart your career or give your media career a boost. So prepare for it like you prepare for an exam. Research the person interviewing you. Research the company and research the programme you're interviewing for, and certainly watch it. Anticipate the questions and think about your answers. Maybe even role play it with a friend. You might feel a bit of a tool, but better a tool than a fool. For the interview itself, dress appropriately and think about appropriate body language. This is good. That's not as good. Make it easy for your interviewer to be impressed. Talk about your relevant skills and charm them with your passion and positivity. They're bound to ask, what makes you suitable for this role? What relevant experience do you have? And why should we hire you? Give them facts, not waffle. At the end, they'll ask your rate, your availability, and whether you have any questions for them. Make sure to ask when they'll be letting people know. There's no point in you being on tenterhooks for weeks on end when they've already let the successful candidate know they've got the gig. And what do you say if they ask if you're applying for any other jobs? Well, email me at juliandismore@gmail.com to find out. Good luck.
Okie dokie. So then, just to recap, we've talked about generating contacts, It's all very brief, very hectic. I do a longer workshop. I'm doing one a week on Wednesday, a longer 4-hour workshop where I give feedback on CVs. I give feedback on job interviews. We do a role play. I give you some links on where to find jobs. So if you're interested in that workshop, email me at juliandismore@gmail.com and I'll tell you more about it. We've talked about introductory emails. We've talked about CVs. We've talked about job interviews. So obviously that's the process if you're lucky enough to get a job interview. And one of my team got that job interview for ITV. And because she believes this, and I know it's the case, because we rigorously role-played the interview, we role-played the group exercise, which was like 8 people on the boat, 4 had to get a lifeboat because it was sinking. Which 4 get the lifeboat, do you think? Debate type thing. We debated that. And because I went through a presentation with her, she got the job. So you do need to work through with people if you do get a chance like that, because that chance might never come up again. That's the stakes we're talking about. So it's really important you are realistic that it's a very competitive world out there, but if you try hard enough for long enough and you're resilient enough and you listen to the advice I've given you and other people give you, that's the other key thing. Don't just listen to me. Join TV Facebook, join screenwriters forums, join dance forums, talking shops on social media. Listen to other people's advice, get tips. That's the key thing to do to give yourselves the best chance of success. Right, we've got 5 minutes left. Let's have some questions. Who's got some questions for me?
I'll start off. So in one sentence, what's your main tip for those coming into the film industry?
I find it very hard to do anything in one sentence because there is so much to say. But what I would say without trying to draw breath is be liked, be likable, be positive, keen to learn, passionate, organized. Look online. There's lots of advice for runners online. What you need to be taking on set with you, attitudes you need to have, what you need to be doing. It's so competitive. Some people are so sharp and organized, and that's who you're competing against. Don't go in thinking that you're going to crack it straight away. You're not. But if you're likable, you'll get more chances. Next question.
Oh, Manel, do you want to go? Sorry, you go ahead. No?
Go on, Edie, you go, and then I'll get me one.
Sorry.
Okay. I was just going to ask, so if I'm coming in trying to, I want to be a writer, like I would love to do that. But obviously, as you said, I'm not going to roll up and be like, hey, I want to write your screenplays, guys, because like no one is going to hire me because I'm no one right now. So where would I also be looking at like trying to do a running job, or would I be like, because I was wondering about like proofreading and stuff like that, or just being an assistant, or like where do you think is a good break-in point for that?
Okay, what a great question. What a great question. Am I the right person to ask? No, I am not.
Okay.
I'm a factual program maker. Mm-hmm. So, I obviously write. I write commentary scripts. I write shooting scripts. I write proposals. I do a lot of writing, but I've not written a drama in my life. Mm-hmm. So I can't give you the fish, Edie, but rather like Jesus Christ, I can teach you how to fish. Mm-hmm. And I've done that, haven't I?
Yeah. So I need to
taught you how to fish. You've got to go and ask, you've got to track the right people down who are screenwriters or drama producers or drama directors and ask them. There is bound to be a route. There is bound to be an apprenticeship, a system. It might be going on set, being a runner. It might be working, I don't know, for an independent that does lots of dramas. So you need to be, aware of which indies production companies do loads of dramas. Maybe it's work in the office, running for them. But I'm not the man to ask. The woman to ask are those great writers, or the production managers of dramas, or the producers of dramas, And you find those out through LinkedIn, through sending 50, 100, 200, 300. Now, here's the thing, Edie.
Mhm.
In the next year or so, you send 1,000, making it up, you send 1,000 contact requests on LinkedIn, relevant ones, you'll make it. You'll make it one way or another. But are you willing and able to do that? Only you can answer that.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that an on-the-spot question here now? Yes,
No.
I am.
Well, in my opinion, if you do that, then you'll make it one way or another. Maybe it's not writing BBC1 primetime screenplays,
Mhm.
but maybe it's, being a script editor, maybe it's you'd end up on set as a continuity, but if you try hard enough for long enough, you have something about you and you have some luck and you're into portfolio career it. So as well as doing that, you'll be working as a waitress or working as in a website or working in something ideally related, but still plowing on, still trying, still knocking on the doors, then you'll make it, in my opinion, unless you're hopeless. But I'm sure you're not, because you laughed at my jokes. But you've got to make your own luck. You've got to keep plowing on and not giving up. Manel, did you have a question?
Sorry. Like for me, I want to start off as like a runner, and then but I just wanted to know like what kind of like organizations are kind of hiring for runners at this moment.
Okay. So again, you've got it slightly wrong in that, bizarrely though, there's exactly the conversation I had 34 years ago. I was in my careers office at university and said, excuse me, where's your TV jobs file? You know what I mean? There is no TV jobs file. There is no runners jobs file. Does not exist. You've got to find those jobs through looking at the talent manager. Look at those videos I did. The talent manager, Mandy.com, production based, don't pay for anything. There are various agencies out there. There are various, people hiring. And how do they hire? Well, they put adverts up. You've got to know who the adverts are. You're not going to just go, all right, apply for a job. There's the runner list. I'm going to go for it. It doesn't work like that. Try the talent manager. Watch those videos again. If you've got 40 quid, come on my workshop a week on Wednesday. And there's links there to sites which have, job availability. But it's tough, it's just not going to fall in your lap. That's the reality of it.
Okay.
Great. Well done, guys. Right. It's 3:00. Thank you for your time for the last hour. Phoebe, did you have a question for me?
Yeah, just a quick one. With making a web series, putting stuff on YouTube, what's the best way to get people to actually watch it? Because it's one thing uploading it, but
well, that's $1 million question. To be honest, to an extent, it doesn't matter if folks watch it or not. The fact you've done it is a good sign. And good for your CV, although I don't expect us to watch it, but the fact you've got it on your CV is good. And the fact you've learned the skills to do it is obviously good. For it to go viral, then you need good hashtags, you need good content, you need good search engine optimization, all that kind of stuff. But to be honest, the main thing is just do it. Just get stuff up there, get stuff out there, just show you're passionate. And it just looks a great thing to mention in job interviews. It's a great thing to put on your CV, and it's a great thing to put in your emails that you've done this. And the big question is, if you haven't done it, well, why not? That's a question to worry about. I say to people, you've done nothing apart from your degree. You've done nothing extra to your degree. Why not? It's not a good sign, is it? You're passionate, but you've done nothing but your degree, which is you're forced to do. So it's so important to do stuff extra to degree, just to prove to people like me who are a bit nervous about you when we first interview you, that you're passionate, you're on it, you're sharp, you're motivated, you've acquired these skills, like my son did at Loughborough. And then you can prove it, you say stuff about yourself. Well done, Phoebe. Thank you for asking the question. Well done, guys, for joining me. It's a sunny day. You could have been out sunbathing, but you haven't. Hopefully you've got something out of it. Has it been useful?
Yeah.
Very.
Thank you very
much. Well, email me, juliandismore@gmail.com for the CV template. I would suggest you follow me on social media at Direct Productions UK. Lots of tips, lots of advice. There's a blog every week. There's I put jobs on Thursdays, Manel, so that's one way to see what jobs are available. I'd put a couple of jobs up every Thursday on my social media site. I wish you guys the best of luck. I've enjoyed your company this afternoon. Please spread the word if you found it useful. If you found this hour helpful and informative, please tell everybody you know on social media. Hashtag me at Direct Productions UK. If you haven't found it useful, then don't tell anybody. Just pretend the last hour never happened. It's just our secret. All right, guys, thank you for your time.
Thank
and
you
I hope
so much.
so
Can we
much.
give a round of applause for Julian, please?
thank you, Laura.
Thank you.